Happy Valentine's Day, YouTube. Thomas L. here. Since it is, of course, Valentine's, and also with the new film Isn't Romantic out now, I decided to do my top 10 favorite romantic comedies of all time. Now, it's a pretty decent genre. I mean, I'm not like the biggest hardcore romantic comedy fan, but there's lots of romantic comedies I do enjoy. Of course, pretty much my favorite genres are comedies and horror, but once in a while, I definitely will slip in a rom com once in a while. And I mean, of course, they're always filled with lots of cliches and all that. But anyway, that being said, here's my top 10 list. All right, coming in at number 10 is the 2009 film 500 Days of Summer. Now, this movie is directed by Mark Webb, who, of course, went on to direct Amazing Spider Man 1 and Part 2. And this film stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zoe Deschanel. And in it, Gordon-Levitt plays a a greeting card writer and a hopeless romantic who's pretty much is caught completely off guard when his girlfriend Summer, played by Zoe Deschanel, suddenly dumps him. So he reflects on their 500 days together to try to figure out where their love affair went sour or not. And he then rediscovers true passions of life. Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zoe Deschanel, I thought they were fantastic in this. It's a shame they haven't done a movie since then. I mean, I thought they had a really good chemistry here. Zoe Deschanel, she's always great. I mean, New Girl, who doesn't love Zoe Deschanel? Also, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is always great. This even had a young Chloe Moretz before she became bigger with stuff like Kick-Ass and Carrie and Neighbors 2. Chloe Moretz is always awesome as well. This is definitely a really nice romantic comedy worth checking out. There's also a really great musical number, which is a really awesome musical number. Like the choreography in that was pretty cool. And I mean, if you guys haven't seen 500 Days of Summer yet, do you have a favorite? Check it out. It's a really nice rom-com. All right. Coming in at number 9 is Jerry Maguire. Now, this is, of course, directed by Cameron Crowe and stars Tom Cruise, Renee Zellweger, Cuba Gooding Jr., future Oscar winner Regina King, Kelly Preston. Pretty good cast. And one thing I really love about Jerry Maguire, it's something for everyone. Like, there's the sports and football aspect that the guys will enjoy. Then there's the romance and love stuff that the females will enjoy. So this is definitely a film that I think, a guy and a female both could watch together and will enjoy it and will relate to it and all. I mean, Jerry Maguire it's a 90s classic. I mean, it also has some really good iconic lines, like Cuba Gooding Jr.'s line of "Show me the money." Then, of course, there's "You had me at hello." This has some really good lines in it. I mean, it's a really good rom-com. Of course, you have John Lipnicki. That kid needs to be in more stuff. I mean, it's a shame that we don't really see John Lipnicki as I mean, that kid doesn't really do a whole lot anymore. I mean, it's kind of a shame because he was great in stuff like this and Stuart Little and Little Vampire. That kid needs to make a major comeback. Anyway, and I really like the romance chemistry between Tom Cruise and Renee Zellweger. Their chemistry worked out really well. Cameron Crowe did a good job at directing. Yeah, it's amazing. And of course, this was the movie that won Cuba Gooding Jr. his first Oscar. So there's that. It's really good. Definitely check out Jerry Maguire. I think you'll enjoy it. All right, coming in at number 10 is not number 10. Coming in at number 8, my bad, is 10 Things I Hate About You. Now, this is technically like a based on a Shakespeare play. I think it's Taming of the Shrew or Romeo and Juliet. One of those two. I always forget which Shakespeare play this is based on. But anyway, it stars, Julia Stiles as like a been quite abrasive to, most of her fellow teens, and her, and so she pretty much meets like a guy named played by Heath Ledger, and of course they end up like having a romantic connection. And I mean, there's a really good scene where Heath Ledger's character is singing to Julia Stiles the song by Jersey Boys, I love you baby, classic song. And this is actually, I believe this was Heath Ledger's first feature film. Like before he, of course, did Brokeback Mountain, way before he did The Dark Knight, he did a really nice romantic comedy like this. And Heath Ledger was terrific here. Julia Stiles was great. This also had Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it. Also, I believe Larry Miller was also in this. Really good film. I mean, it's a really nice rom-com. It has some likable characters, and it's kind of funny how 10 Things I Hate About You features a Dark Knight character. Like it features Heath Ledger, who of course went on to be in The Dark Knight, and it also has Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who of course was in Dark Knight Rises. So this has a bit of a Dark Knight connection. I mean, it would have been funny if they actually got Joseph Gordon-Levitt as a Robin and all, because never mind, I'm getting off track. Anyway, yeah, 10 Things I Hate About You is really good. And they also did like a TV show of it, which wasn't all that great. The movie is definitely the best. And man, I miss Heath Ledger. That guy was awesome. Anyway, coming in at number 7 is The Wedding Singer. Now, this is set in 1985 and stars Adam Sandler as a nice guy with a broken heart who's, stuck in like one of the most romantic jobs in the world as a wedding singer. And so, he pretty much like loses all hope when he is like abandoned at the altar by his fiance. And so then, he meets a young woman named Julia, played by Drew Barrymore, who enlists his help to plan her wedding. And of course Sandler ends up falling for her, and has to try to win her over before she ties a knot. This is amazing. I mean, Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, these two work together just perfectly. I mean, sometimes I literally ever wonder if they actually date in real life, because they have such a really good chemistry with one another. And this movie was, of course, directed by Frank Coraci, who's a pretty decent director. Also, you had Steve Buscemi, John Lovitz. Who else was in this? Oh yeah, the late Alexis Arquette was in this. It also had some really darn good music in it. Like I'm Growing Old with You, and the songs in this are really good. And to change a bit of the subject, like I really liked in this one episode of the Goldbergs when they had like a wedding singer episode. That literally is probably one of my favorite Goldbergs episode. Yeah, and of course this was not the only time Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore have worked together. I'll talk about that here in a bit, but yeah, The Wedding Singer is just amazing. It's definitely a really cute rom-com to watch. It's Sandler and Drew Barrymore were both good. I mean, if you guys never seen The Wedding Singer by now, definitely check it out. I think you'll appreciate it. Coming in at number 6 is You've Got Mail. Now, this was directed by the late Nora Ephron, who, of course, was the queen of rom-coms. And in it, it stars Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks, who pretty much met online, and they began like an intense and anonymous internet romance. Yes, there was internet back in the 90s. I mean, now it's different today. Like we got Facebook, there's Twitter, Snapchat, blah blah blah. But back in the days, you actually had to email people if you really want to talk to them. And that's pretty much what Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan did. Of course, did. It's really cute and charming. I mean, Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, they were, they were definitely one of the best romantic comedy duos there was. Of course, they also did Sleepless in Seattle, which of course was a classic. He also did Joe versus the Volcano, which I was never a big fan with, to be honest. Yeah, but You've Got Mail is probably my favorite one. I mean, I probably could have had chosen either Sleepless in Seattle or You've Got Mail, but I decided to go with You've Got Mail. To me, it's a better film, and of course, Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan were both great in this. So, if you guys never seen You've Got Mail yet, check it out. It's really good. All right, coming in at number 5 is Say Anything. Now, like Jerry Maguire, this movie was also directed by Cameron Crowe. He does really big with when it comes to rom-coms. Anyway, Say Anything is a really nice rom-com. Of course, there's that classic boombox scene. I mean, that boombox scene is really iconic. Like, you'll probably see that scene in almost every movies or TV I know of. I mean, they spoofed that on an episode of Family Guy and a few other stuff they spoofed that in. I think they also spoofed it in Goldberg's one time. I can't remember, but Say Anything is just iconic. I mean, it's a movie that got released in 1985. I think 85 or 86, around that time. And it still holds up today. I mean, John Cusack and the one he plays like Eon Sky. I was keep forgetting her name, but they were really good here. Also, I believe Joe Cusack was even in this. It's amazing. I mean, if you guys never had a chance to check out Say Anything, it's a really nice, cute rom-com. Good performances all around. Of course, the boombox scene is, like I said, is iconic. It's amazing. Definitely check it out. All right, coming in at number 4 is Love Actually. Now, this is pretty much different stories or roll into one. Like, among the characters explored here is David, played by Hugh Grant, who's a newly elected British Prime Minister who falls for a young janitor staffer, played by Martine Makuchan. Can't really pronounce her last name well. And, of course, there's Laura Dern, who's like a graphic designer whose devotion to her mentally ill brother complicated her love life. And there's also Liam Neeson's character who has like a nice father and son moment with his son. You also had the late great Alan Rickman in this. Love Actually is amazing. I mean, there's of course that classic airport scene. I mean, it has a really good cast. I mean, besides Rickman and company, it also has Keira Knightley. Sorry about that. Anyway, it also has Keira Knightley, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Liam Neeson, like I mentioned. All right, who else was in this? Oh yeah, Thomas Brody Sangster, who I believe was in The Maze Runner. I mean, it has a really solid cast, and I mean, it also has some really good lines in this, and it has some amazing scenes. It's a really good film, and it'll be cool seeing an actual sequel. I mean, I know there was like a recent sequel at that they had that was during that Red Nose televised event, but that wasn't like an actual movie sequel. It'll be cool seeing like a full on like feature length sequel to this, because Love Actually is amazing. I mean, who didn't love Love Actually? I believe it was directed by Richard Curtis as well, who's really good when it comes to rom-coms. Of course, he's also the screenwriter of that new movie that's coming out tomorrow, which I'm actually looking forward to check out. But Love Actually is a really good one. All right, coming in at number 3 is When Harry Met Sally. Now, this is a nice rom-com. I mean, of course, it's another film that stars Meg Ryan in it. You also have the late, great Carrie Fisher, Billy Crystal. I mean, I kind of mentioned this movie when I was doing my 10 favorite Billy Crystal films. When Harry Met Sally is also iconic. I mean, there's, of course, that iconic orgasm scene. If you guys seen the movie, you know what scene I'm talking about. You know, the line where I'll have what she's having. And I mean, this movie was also scripted by Nora Ephron, who of course did You Got Mail, and it was directed by the great Rob Reiner. This is such a fantastic movie. I mean, Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan, they both had some really good chemistry. And Carrie Fisher still loads of scenes in this. There's also Bruno Kirby. He was pretty good. And it's a romantic comedy that takes place in New York. I mean, I think some of the best rom-coms are the ones that takes place here in New York City. I don't know. I mean, like lots of the romantic comedies that's in this top 10 list take place in New York. So, I mean, I don't know. I think probably New York is just, the home for love and all that. But anyway, When Harry Met Sally is still amazing. Definitely check out When Harry Met Sally if you haven't. It's really good. And I believe, if I recall, I think it turns like 30 this year. Yeah, whoa. Filled yet. When Harry Met Sally turns 30 this year, so yikes. Anyway. Alright, coming in at number 2 is pretty much another Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore film, and that is 50 First Dates. I gotta say, I love 50 First Dates slightly more than The Wedding Singer. Now, lots of people probably prefer The Wedding Singer over 50 First Dates, but I just really love 50 First Dates. I mean, I thought Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore on this was just terrific. In the Adam Sandler, plays like a playboy vet who falls in love with this woman named Lucy, who has like a short-term memory loss after a terrible car accident, and so she can't really remember anything that happened the day before. So every morning she has to like try to woo her again, and pretty much he tries to have her fall in love with him over and over. I mean, it's in a way, lots of people will say it's kind of pretty messed up because Adam Sandler's Henry Roth character is taking advantage of a disability character. I guess that is probably a little messed up, but for some reason I think it's really adorable. Adam, they were just terrific in this. Of course, Rob Schneider in this was just hysterical. Blake Clark stole loads of scenes. You also had Sean Astin. Amy Hill was in this. It was directed by Pierre Segal, who did a pretty good job at directing. I mean, 50 First Dates is amazing, and it's definitely probably one of my favorite rom-coms. And, of course, it all has to do with the chemistry between Barrymore and Sandler. Like, if their chemistry don't work in this movie, the movie itself won't work, because yeah, and of course this was the movie that had that Beach Boys song stuck in my head for like years. So would it be nice to talk about that movie, and now that Beach Boys song is back in my head. Anyway, all right, now my number 1 favorite romantic comedy of all time, that will be Pretty Woman. Now, Pretty Woman, of course, has a classic song in it. Oh, Pretty Woman. That's an iconic rom-com song. Of course, I mean, it's about Richard Gere, who's a businessman who, falls in love with a prostitute played by Julia Roberts. For some reason, this movie was always pretty cute and charming. I mean, who knew that a movie where, someone could fall in love with a hooker could work out well? And it worked out well with Pretty Woman. It was directed by the late, great Gary Marshall. You even had Hector Elizondo in this, Jason Alexander, some good supporting cast members, but the best part of the movie has got to be the chemistry with Richard Gere and Julia Roberts. I mean, their chemistry in this was really off the hook, And of course, it had some nice scenes, some nice moments. I mean, the movie got released in 1990. I think 99. I think either 90 or 91, around those areas. And it's a movie that still holds up today. Like, Pretty Woman gets referenced a lot. I mean, I just saw Isn't It Romantic, and Pretty Woman was, of course, referenced in that. I mean, of course, Pretty Woman has been referenced in Family Guy, loads of stuff. I mean, there's, of course, a Broadway show of Pretty Woman, but nothing could be on the movie. It's iconic. I mean, if for whatever reason you never seen Pretty Woman by now, do yourself a favor, if it's on Netflix, Google Play, whatever, check it out. It's amazing. And it's also Gary Marshall's best work, in my opinion. I mean, he's done loads of other stuff, but his best work will and always will be Pretty Woman. His best movie work, I should say. There's an argument made that his best work is on TV, but that's the topic for another time. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 10, 500 Days of Summer. 9, Jerry Maguire. 8, 10 Things I Hate About You. 7, The Wedding Singer. 6, You've Got Mail. 5, Say Anything. 4, Love Actually. 3, When Harry Met Sally. 2, 500 Days... 50 First Dates, I meant. Sorry. 1, Pretty Woman. Now, there's loads of other ones I could have added. Let me pull up the list. There's some modern ones I could have put down. The Big Sick is amazing. Crazy Stupid Love was good. The Proposal with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds was good. Crazy Rich Asians is a good one. Trainwreck. There's Valentine's Day. The Holiday. Hitch with Will Smith. Date Movie, which is more of a spoof of the rom-com genre. Knocked Up with Seth Rogen. 4-Year-Old Virgin is pretty good. Dirty Go On Dirty. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Bridget Jones's Diary. Notting Hill. 27 Dresses. What Women Want, What Men Want are pretty decent. There's Something About Mary. Princess Bride I could have probably added. Big, another Tom Hanks movie. Sleepless Seattle. 16 Candles. Never Been Kissed. Sweet Home Alabama. Moonstruck. Annie Hall's a classic. I could have also added some very classic ones like Roman Holiday. Breakfast at Tiffany's. It Happened One Night is a classic. Loads of good rom-coms. Anyway, let me leave it to you guys. What are some of your favorite romantic comedies of all time? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Thomas Ellis signing off.